everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Who do you have coming out the West?
I would be honest, man. It's game time, man. Check your watch.
What?
I mean, and coming off the bench isn't a bad thing.
It'll be hard for them to place Russ.
You are tuned into Hot Take Season,
2-3 years of
where these hot takes are rated E for everyone.
a rotational quarterback. Like that's going to be a while. I think they'll go.
Hot Take Season. Hot Take Season. Hot Take Season.
What up, what up? Thanks for tuning in to another segment of Hot Take Season, where these hot takes are rated E for everybody. I'm your host, Mia Me, and we've got a special guest for this segment. She is a beat writer for the Memphis Flyer, covering the Memphis Grizzlies. She's a part of Believing Grizzlies podcast. She has her own podcast, The Shy Show. She is co-owner and founding editor of All Heart in Hoop City and a contributor for ESPN's The Undefeated and Dime magazine. Miss Sharon Shy Brown, thanks for joining the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. So I feel like I just listed a bunch of things that you have done and are a part of. So first, congratulations on that. Again, thank you for joining the show. Can you give us a little background into your love for sports and how you got into sports media?
Okay, my love for sports started when I was younger. I used to play softball. I used to watch football with my uncles, and I played basketball like with the guys on the playground, things of that nature. And then when I'm from Mississippi, and my husband and I, we moved to Illinois. When we had kids, and we loved the Chicago Bulls. And when we moved to Memphis in 2003, I started watching the Grizzlies. And then I think when Zach Randolph came, it's just like I started really getting into the team, and when they started winning, and I was excited. And then so I became part of this group on Facebook. It's called Grizz Nation. And then I noticed that there was a lot of women fans, and like when the women wanted to say something about, basketball, like the guys would, think that we didn't matter. And so, and then people had their little blogs they was writing and everything. And so my passion always was to be a journalist. But when I was in college, I changed it to paralegal studies, because when I first went to college, I wanted to be a journalist, and a basketball article was the first article I ever wrote.
Okay.
And then it just came back to me. And so me and Amy Sickemeyer started All Heart in Hoop City. It was a blog that was dedicated to the Memphis Grizzlies because we were Memphis Grizzlies fans. And we started that, and it just went on from there.
Gotcha.
And All Heart in Hoop City was a blog with all women writers writing about the Grizzlies.
I love that. Because me personally, I've always found it kind of difficult to meet other women who really know the game,
Right.
and build friendships that way. And you bring up, how the men would react. And I think I've definitely faced that over my years with being involved in sports. They love it, or they're like standoffish about it, trying to test your IQ and see just how serious you are with it. So for you to be able to put something together with all women, I definitely love that.
Right. And then that led me to being, writing for The Undefeated, which is now Anscape, and then writing for other places, and, being on other, getting the podcast and doing other things. It has opened a lot of doors for me.
Gotcha. So how long have you been doing this?
We started it in 2015.
Okay.
And then and I've been with the Memphis Flyer. I think this would be the 4th season.
Nice. Okay.
Right.
What's the atmosphere like around there, being the media side of things?
I can tell you when I first started out, it wasn't, I don't think we were received very well. And then it's just people I could say, well, start paying attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I started writing for the national outlets, and then like some of the national writers would, I got to know them and everything. And when they would, like tweet out my stuff, and then people start following me, and then I started doing the podcast and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I think I was accepted. But I just think that the Memphis market is not really good for Black women, and maybe not Black men either, because we have like 2 sports radio stations here.
Mm-hmm.
We have 1 Black man like on the radio, and this market is mostly Black. And then it just seemed like these radio stations, they cater to white men. But, the landscape of sports has changed,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not just white men. There are a lot of women who are into sports.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, you just don't want to hear the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, with me, I don't kiss ass. I don't care who you are. And then I can put my stuff up against some other people's stuff. It's just as good or even better.
Right.
And then it's just like, I always try to be an advocate for Black women in sports.
Gotcha.
Always. And I feel like that we are talented, we are qualified, and we need to be in these spaces.
Right.
If you don't want us in these spaces, we'll create our own.
Right. Right. I can definitely appreciate that. That's why I'm so grateful for you even doing this interview with me. Because it is a tough situation trying to get your foot in the door and level up within that.
Right.
It takes a lot. From all angles.
Yeah, it really do. And then today, one of my friends tweeted out an article from The Root, and I just didn't like the title of the article.
Mm.
It says, "Where are all the Black women in sports journalism?" And then, she interviewed some people. And then my word was, it's a lot of us out here.
Right.
We're not mainstream. You don't know us, but if you look, you will find us.
Right. Yeah.
And then people, when I say that give us opportunities, people say, well, Jamel Hill and Carrie Chapman, all of them, they have Malik Andrews, they have opportunities. Oh, you see them, you see them on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Just because you see them on TV, that doesn't mean it's enough
right.
of us out there. Give us opportunities.
Yep.
Because like for the longest, me and other people have been trying to start a news organization or sports organization that consists of Black women in all the sports in the United States and beyond. Where we own something, where we give each other jobs.
That is definitely needed.
It really is needed, because sometimes we don't get the opportunity if we don't look a certain way.
Right.
If we're not a certain color, or if we it's just like if we don't weigh a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have this, if we don't have that. But when you look at men, you see all these people on TV, they look like the bottom of my feet, and they can get jobs. I'm just saying. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you mean.
We have to be a certain type or a certain age or whatever. I mean, it's just like, I'm older. I will be 50 this year, but I'm still talented.
Very.
So it's just like, I don't really want to be on your camera, but hell, you can have me to write.
Right.
I can do that.
Yep. There's plenty of room for everybody that wants to be involved.
It really is, but when you have people that are less talented, know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, get a job, that's a slap in the face for us who've been working hard.
Yeah.
But, then people, when you say, well, give Black women chances or whatever, they always bring up qualification. Baby, I am qualified. Yep. Just because you don't think I am qualified.
Yep.
Girl, don't get me started.
As far as you working with the Grizzlies, has there been maybe a favorite story that you could tell us, a favorite interview or anything like that?
I think okay, so um on my Twitter bio, I got it pinned up on my Twitter when I did the interview with John Morant's mom,
Mhm.
Jamie Morant. Yeah, and then like I found out I think a month ago that that was the highest viewed article in 2022 for the Memphis Flyer
Wow. And that was a really
online.
good piece, you guys. Go check that out.
Yeah, and it's like, man, but I really love that because it's just like we always saw Ja's dad on
Mhm.
TV, but his mom, she's right there.
Yeah.
And so, and then I think I was the first person she interviewed with. And yeah,
Nice.
I was so happy that I got that interview. And it was like it was a good article.
Yeah, it was. It was. A lot of fun stuff in that article. Why do you think the focus is more so on his dad and not necessarily the both of his parents?
Because his dad is more visible. She's behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of stuff is about visibility.
Mm-hmm.
She's there. He
Right.
always talk about her. She has a close relationship with her.
Right.
But then again, people are so corny and crazy, mad at his dad because his dad is there. I'm like, please, will y'all be quiet?
If he wasn't there, they would have a problem with that too.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Tell some daddy, sit down. And okay, you know what? Some crazy. I'm sorry to I'm just people on social media are just crazy anyway.
Yeah.
I saw somebody mad because Jason Tatum always have his son Deuce with him. I'm like, are you serious? That's how people are. I'm like, really?
It's always something.
You're gonna be mad because this man dad is there, and then you can get mad because the man got his son. Why he always have his son out there? Because he want to share this moment with his son.
Right.
This man dad made sacrifice for him. His dad is there. I mean, are you serious right now? I be questioning what is wrong with people.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
People have so many issues where I'm like, you upset about that?
Right. Of all
Oh
the
my
things
God.
you can be upset over. That's
right. And then like you said, if his dad wasn't in his life, people will be questioning where's dad at? I mean, oh my God. I just shake my head sometimes.
I definitely get it. So the Shy Show, which is your podcast, that's with you and your children, correct?
Right.
Okay.
We haven't did it in a while, but it's basically me, my younger son, and then my next to the oldest son and my daughter.
Okay.
And we have some interesting, talks on the Shy Show. We talk about sports and TV, talk about anything life. So I think it's fun. We need to get back to it, but my son's schedule don't work out, but we need to get back to it.
Gotcha. Are there any big differences in sports opinions, being that there's an age difference?
Oh no.
No.
It's like me and my 23-year-old, and like when I talk sports with my boys, we be on the same level.
Nice.
But my 23-year-old, he's like very smart. He knows a lot of stuff, and he has like a really good opinion on things. But our level of like sports or whatever is on the same level. But my husband, like with basketball, he not on our level with basketball, but the football thing, that's theirs. Because I was like, if I knew football like I know basketball, hell, I'll be covering the
NFL. I feel you. I just wondered that because I know we get at our age, we get to see, we got to see Jordan, we got to see Kobe come up the ranks. And with the younger audiences, their big name is LeBron. And so there's always this constant debate of who's the GOAT, which one is better and things like that. So I just wondered if there was ever, a difference in opinion where those things are concerned. But let me ask you this. Who is in your all-time NBA starting five?
Yeah, I saw that. That's a tough question, but like Jordan number one for sure, because it's just like I'm like a uber Jordan fan. Kobe, I mean, I love Kobe. I'll say LeBron. So I need to choose two more. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out who else. I'll say KG.
KG. Not bad. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm just like, but it's some others I like, but I'll say KG.
KG, got you.
Yeah. Look, I
Got
think
you.
that will be like a really bad starting five lineup.
I don't think so. I think Shaq is gonna hold down the paint.
No. I ain't no. I say it's a bad as in like fire.
Oh yes, yes, definitely.
That's a fire
Yeah,
starting lineup.
that is a great lineup. You can do a lot with that team.
Right.
Um, so All-Star Weekend just wrapped up. And Memphis had Jaren Jackson make the All-Star game. He was on Team Giannis, had 6 points and a rebound. I believe in 8 minutes of play. Any takes?
Jaren was on LeBron's team, and Ja was on Giannis' team.
Ja was on Giannis. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because Giannis wanted to make Ja on the reserve
Ja was a starter.
team.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Jaren Jackson making the All-Star game? Because I know a lot of people were kind of scratching their head with that pick.
But here's the thing: Jaren made the All-Star team because of his defense. I don't see anybody being mad when Draymond Green made for his defense, when Rudy Gobert made for his defense. That's strictly why Jaren was there, because his defensive level went up. Even though he played fewer games, the man's averaging 3.3 blocks a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his defense so he missed 14 games the first start of the season. The Grizzlies was number 20 in defensive rating. When he came back, they were number 1. He changed the complexity of their defense. He was the reason why they was winning those games. You know, they were in a little bit of a slump, but that's the total reason why he made it. Because when I watched the Hawks game, those people, when they was playing the Hawks, those people were scared to get in the paint because he was blocking so many shots.
Mm-hmm.
So he changed the trajectory of their season as far as defense is concerned. That's why he made it. And then it's like during the post game, you always see the coaches talking about how good of a defensive player that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Ja take care of his offense, and it's Jaren on defense, and so that's why he made the All-Star team.
Makes sense to me.
Because people always look at points, in the offense. Defense plays a role in that too, and people often forget it. They just look at points.
Yep, defense wins championships.
Exactly. You got to have some good defense. You have to make stops, and then Jaren, he does that not only with the blocking of shots and the steals, he does other things. He deflects shots. He, it's just like things that he does on the defense helps the team a whole lot.
Got you. So let me ask you this: what are your I guess overall takeaways from All-Star Weekend? I think All-Star Weekend for me is just not the same as it was a few years ago. But I still do find some enjoyment with watching it. So what did you think of, the 3-point contest, and even the dunk contest?
My favorites were the dunk contest because, like Matt McClung,
Mm-hmm.
I was just anticipating what dunk he was going to do next.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. They had him come in, and I enjoyed the 3-point contest, when Dame winning it. But the thing I didn't like was the skills challenge. That's just like I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the G League thing better than I like the skills challenge. And I think that what they need to do is bring back the WNBA players to play in that like they did before. How they had like a legend,
mm-hmm.
a WNBA player, and a current player.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should bring that back.
I think that's a good idea too. Another idea somebody had was to maybe do one-on-one games.
Right.
I think that would be fun to see. But the players, nobody's trying to be embarrassed, right? And with this age of the internet, nobody's trying to be a walking meme. So I think that the players might not necessarily like it, but I think that would really be a good option if they tried to go that route too.
And then people was talking about, the ratings came out today where that it was like one of the lowest rated things on the All-Star game, but it's like right now the NBA is like not based on the ratings, it's based on the social media views. Mm-hmm. Because like somebody like that jump that Ja did or whatever, people watch that over and over and over and over again. That's how they're getting their views. And so, like, I think social media changed a lot of stuff, the way the NBA and other sports teams other sports organizations operate.
Right.
And so, but I think they need to do something about the All-Star game. And I just don't understand. I don't know what. Somebody brought up a point, how they did they select the teams of the like the rising stars. Somebody made a point where maybe they should do the All-Star game like that. That would mean more players would come and play, but like there would be competition if you have them to play teams, like play one game, and then like the two teams come together and win maybe that would work. But I don't know what would work. But people just interested in stuff where it's not competitive anyway.
Yeah, and I think another part of it is we want to see the big name players participate in these different skills challenges. And they just don't, for whatever their reasoning is. And I think that pretty much deters a lot of people from wanting to watch, because we know we're going to see them in the actual game. But of course I want to see LeBron or somebody out there dunking. And I know Stephen A. Smith tried to make it a whole thing and put the whole blame on LeBron.
That was bull crap to me. For the simple fact is, like I had a debate with somebody on Twitter. I don't care. He said Kobe and Jordan was in the dunk contest. How can LeBron ruin something that he wasn't a part of? He has a choice. There's nothing in the CBA that says he has to participate in All-Star Weekend. First of all,
there's plenty of other names that could participate. It doesn't have to rest on LeBron.
But he said that LeBron ruined it because he feels that these people don't have their own mind and whatever. And then my thing is this: maybe some other people would be in it if the judging wasn't shoddy. Because you remember that year in Chicago, what happened with Dwayne Wade?
Yep.
That made people not want, how they're judging, whatever. And then it's just like they keep on saying, well, Ja, he needs to do it. Ja don't want to do it. Stop trying to make him do it. Stop trying to make these people do something that they don't want to do.
Right.
Because like if they mess up, what's she gonna do? Talk about it. Well, he shouldn't have did this, they shouldn't have did that. It's all a matter of ratings for when Stephen A. Smith says some dumb stuff like that. That's too much to put on LeBron's back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's plenty of other people that could participate, and they have their reasoning for why they don't participate. But to throw it all on LeBron, that's not fair.
Right. It's not fair at all. It's not fair at all. Yeah. And then just because LeBron is a different person than Jordan, he's a different person than Kobe, Dominique, or whatever. He didn't have to do the dunk contest. There's no word saying that he has to do it.
Yeah.
But you said don't compare these people. But you saying, well, just because this, like if somebody jump off the bridge, you want LeBron to do it just because they did it?
You're right.
I mean, that's the reasoning. I mean, and then you tell your kids not to follow what other people do, but then you're going to want adults to do what other people do. That's just crazy to me.
Yep. Makes no sense.
At all.
But switching gears a little bit. So we're past the trade deadline, heading into the second half of the season. Are there any likes or dislikes for you with the trade deadline?
Oh, but I think like Kyrie going to Dallas was a shocker. Katie going to Phoenix was a shocker. I think maybe the Lakers got a little bit better. And then I'm trying to figure out what else.
I think those were the biggest ones.
The bigger ones.
Yeah.
I think like with the Grizzlies, they needed shooting since they couldn't get OG, or they couldn't get Mikal Bridges. I think getting Luke Kennard to help with the 3-point shooting. I think that helps them in the long run. I think getting Russ with the Clippers may help them, because I think that it was unfair to blame Russ for what was going on, with the Lakers. But you know how people want to blame, stuff. And then I think it just was irresponsible for someone to tell ESPN that he was a vampire in the locker room when every former teammate of his says he's one of the best teammates ever.
Mhm.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would you do this? This is just crazy to me. Why would somebody say that? And then I see Bradley Beal pissed off because somebody said it. His other former teammates pissed off because somebody said it. But it's just crazy to me. I hate when organizations or people in organizations try to down players after they leave. I don't like that. It happens.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all. Don't try to assassinate this man's character.
that's for sure. For whatever reason, I think a lot of media outlets, they just form a narrative and they run with it. And that really has the potential to persuade a lot of people's minds. I think the Lakers were in a situation where they needed help way before Westbrook came along.
Right.
And the situation didn't work for whatever reason. It didn't work, but that doesn't mean you have to assassinate his character, as you said. What do you think? Do you think it works with the Clippers though?
I think it probably would work with the Clippers. They got rid of Reggie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would work, but I don't know how it's gonna work in the starting lineup. I just don't know. And then I haven't watched the Clippers enough this season to know, how they operate. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't.
It feels odd to me with him being over there. I just don't know if I see it working with him, Kawhi, and Paul George. I think that duo together was good. I don't necessarily know if Russ is the third piece for them. But it will definitely be interesting to see how that pans out for them. But yeah. KD to Phoenix. What does that do for the Western Conference?
So like people are picking them to win
Mm-hmm.
the West, but I just don't know because to me, I think continuity goes a long way.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way. And then you have teams who have been together a while, and it's just like, and then I don't know. Cause like you said that you don't know if the Westbrook thing would work with the Clippers. I don't know if these other teams trades will work either because things look good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
They look good on paper, but sometimes they don't work.
It doesn't mesh.
So I just don't. I don't know. I would have to form like a really good opinion once I see them playing.
Mm-hmm.
At least 10 games.
Yeah.
Because you have to learn people. I know like basketball is a skill or whatever. You need to learn. You have to learn people in order for you to get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then like what's going to happen if they don't win?
Right.
There's a lot of pressure on them. But it's just like you have teams out here fighting. They just not going to roll over for them.
Right. Do you think there's now more pressure on Phoenix that they have KD? Is it championship or bust for Phoenix?
I don't think it's championship or bust, but I think it's probably pressure on Muncie Williams.
Okay.
I think it's probably pressure on him.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's necessarily going to be championship or bust.
Mm-hmm.
It may be that next season, but I don't think it's that this season because KD is coming in, and then like they have like 20 some games left. You just can't. I don't know because I don't know where how they're going to finish. In the West. Right.
It's gotta mesh. You gotta have the chemistry to make it work.
Right. And then people don't understand that chemistry goes a long way, and then continuity goes a long way. You be with people like for years, and where you know each other tendencies and things of that nature. You just can't learn that overnight.
Yeah.
And then it, just skill is just going to take you, so far because you get into a point where like the Grizzlies. They have continuity. Their top players have continuity together. They know each other's tendency. And then like we see how, like with Steven Adams, how important he is, to this team. And it's just like they've been together, for some seasons. Right. And they know, how each other, tick, what makes each other tick. And then I think that goes a long way. And people just say, well, that's not true or whatever. But I just think chemistry and continuity goes a long way because if you keep changing players, like the Lakers did, keep changing stuff over and over again, you're not going to win a championship. It's not going to happen. You have to build that.
Yeah. So
like I said, skill goes a long way.
It does. It does. So Josh says that Memphis is still fine in the West. Um, are they still fine in the West? I know it's the Western Conference, which is always a tough situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see Memphis heading in the second half of the season?
Okay, like I been saying, I think they control their own destiny.
Okay.
They're still number 2, and all they got to do is keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be tough, but they control their own destiny. If they go out there and play Grizzlies basketball like they been doing,
Mm-hmm.
they needed a much needed break. With all the stuff was going on.
Right.
They get back to Grizzlies basketball and have fun out there on that floor. They are hard to beat.
Hard to beat. All right.
Hard to beat.
Any necessary moves maybe for advancement? And I know this is kind of premature because we're still in this season, and they didn't do much during the trade, before the trade deadline. Any necessary thing? Yeah, they tried. Anything that they should do maybe going into next season, to get them over the hump?
I think they need I think they need a wing. They need a better small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Brooks is good at his defense, but his offense,
Mm-hmm.
I think they need a better wing, and then they need maybe develop the players on the bench, or make the bench better.
Got you.
Because and then for one, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams, John Morant, and Desmond Bane need to play together more.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just and Dylan Brooks is on the starting 5.
Yeah.
Once they're starting 5, play together more, because it's been, they had limited games this season because Jaren was out, Bane was out, Dylan was out a little bit, and then Steven, he's been out. And then it's just they need more time on the floor together, because when John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. clicking, they're hard to beat.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Kenny Lofton Jr.? I know he's two ways, so he's with the Memphis Hustle sometimes, and then sometimes he's with the Grizzlies. How do you feel about him and just his development going forward?
Oh, I think he's going to be in the main roster next season.
Yeah. I would love that. I would love to see that. I think Kenny does,
because he's a walking bucket.
Yeah.
And then he reminds us so much of Zebo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he's a walking bucket. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
And man, I just think he's just gonna be a really good player for this team.
Yeah.
And then I believe if they had a roster spot available, he would already be up on the main roster. But they just sitting him there, in South Haven, but I think he's going to be in the main roster next season.
I would love to see that. I think he's more than deserving of it. He's been dominating in the G League. So yeah, I would love to see him full time with the Grizzlies and just see where his career can go at that level. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, but before we do you have any hot takes to leave with HotTakeSzn?
Any hot takes?
Mm-hmm. Maybe a Memphis prediction for if they're going to make the conference championship, what their record may be at the end of the season, anything like that. Not just Memphis. If you got something about any other team, that's cool too.
I don't know, but what hot take I want to leave with?
What you got?
Can we stop with the Jordan versus LeBron?
Please.
Who the GOAT is? Can we stop with that? Can we stop? Can we stop? Can they both be great? That's my hot take. Can we just stop with the foolishness? You get tired of seeing it.
Yep.
I don't even want to be a part of the argument no more. They're both great.
Same argument.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop. That's my hot take. Stop the madness.
Stop the madness, y'all. All right. Well, thank you so much, Shy, for tapping in with us. Look forward to talking to you again soon. You guys, be sure to tap in with Shy and check out her articles with the Memphis Flyer. Shy, can you let them know where else they can find you at?
On Twitter, Sharon Shy Brown.
Okay. Sharon Shy Brown on Twitter. Check out her work. Definitely support that. Thank you again for doing this episode with me. And thank you guys for tuning in. This is HotTakeSzn. Y'all be blessed.